Hello, good afternoon. Can everyone hear me? Good afternoon. Hello. 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 I think everybody is upset. I'm so sorry for coming turning up late. I've been trying to fix this. I've been giving challenge some funny issues. Hello, everyone. Please, if you can hear me, let me see a sign in the chat box. If you can hear me, let me see a sign in the chat box. If you can hear me, please let me see a sign in the chat box. Can everyone hear me today? Okay, so once again, apologies for showing up late. I've been trying to. The thing was just giving some funny challenges, and we're trying to fix them. Okay, so let's quickly jump right into this discussion. Okay, now I'm sure most of us here are online teachers, or some of us are intending online teachers. So the first question before we move on, I would like to ask is, what makes a good rate? That's the first question. What makes a good rate? What do you think? Is it to earn in dollars, in pounds, or to just earn good money? So I'm talking about rate per hour. What makes a good rate? Is it to just earn in dollars, that's foreign currencies, or to just get good pay? So I'll need your responses in the chat box. Let's use the chat box. What do you think? Just keep it short and simple. If you think it's to earn in dollars, that's the main thing. Just put it in the chat box. But if not, let me know what you think. Who else can hear me, please? Who else can hear me, please? Why are people not talking in this meeting? So I asked a question. Should I repeat the question? So I asked a question. I said, what is the good thing when it comes to teaching online for you? Or what do you think is better? Is it to earn in dollars or to earn something you'll be proud of? So what do you think? So I want to first be sure that people are following the meeting so I know um, that I'm discussing with people. So you can just put it in the chat box. Just tell me what you think about that. Hello, are people still in this meeting? Okay, we're back. I think there was a bit of interruption. Okay, I can hear you. Go ahead. Good. So some teachers kind of like have that passionate, instructional, blah 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 on their profile. I used to have that. I used to say, fantastic, marvelous, kind, great, awesome teacher on my profile. Until I discovered that, hey, Mr. Fantastic, you have to switch up, like you have to take a pause, okay? Because being fantastic won't get you the student, okay? It won't get you the student. So what I did was I revamped my profile in such a way that when a potential client sees my profile, number one, he or she would want my service. Okay. And there are three things I'll talk about quickly before I move on to slides. Have got slides, but I'll make this very fast because our time is fast spent already. Number one is how you look. And this is actually the first chapter of my book. And the first chapter is the truth about getting foreign students. That's the first chapter. And your job, you have two main jobs. Okay. And number one is how easiest you can be understood. Okay. So students always go to the teacher that can be easily understood. The easiest to understood is what is those they go for. I know some of you already think that is passionate, blah 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 on the profiles. No, that's not what gets those students. Foreign students want it simple. And I'm not talking like this is new to me. Of course it's not. I've taught, I teach almost every day, and sometimes even Sundays, I teach students across the world. And let me tell you the truth. Sometimes I get choked up, and sometimes I call teachers to come and help me. And that's the truth. So I can go call a teacher and say, okay, do you want classes? Take this class. But that doesn't mean that I just go around giving jobs out, okay? But it just means that I get choked up sometimes and I cannot do this by myself. And I kind of think that if more teachers understood the concept of keeping it simple, your profile should be simple. You don't need too much, you don't need unnecessary grammar. You don't need it. You don't need big, big words in quote. You need to keep it simple. So when they see it, they are already attracted to you because you can keep your profile simple. So that's one of the most important things when it comes to teaching online. Okay. So the other one is you should be the fastest to find. So I talk about easiest to understood when they see your profile, fastest to find. The question is, how will they find you very fast? Where you have over, let me say, 5,000 teachers on one platform. Why will you be among the easiest to find? There are a few things that will make you be among the easiest to find. And I'll just think, first, I'll just throw that open. Contribute. Why do you think that a teacher will be the fastest to find when we have thousands of teachers in the platform? Why do you think so? Or how can a teacher make that possible for him to be the easiest? to find. Okay. Who is putting that in the chat box? What makes it possible for a teacher to be the easiest to find? Okay, somebody. Okay. Okay, someone said uploading reviews, we have proper visibility. So what makes now somebody say upload your reviews? Yes, automatically that can be done for you. Okay, as long as or as soon as a client that you've worked with gives a review, it appears on your profile. Okay, so you need to specifically ask for it. And number two, someone said proper visibility. What makes you visible? And that's it. What makes you visible? Why would they see your profile? Okay, this is one of the many things my book talks about. But let me tell you a few things that will make your profile become that profile they easily find. Number one, everything you have on your profile should be easy. And then it should also have some important keywords. Okay. And I don't need to tell you this, but it will surprise you. And I don't even want to talk about this. I don't want to start talking about that because I think I've talked about it or sometimes ago. Some people kind of on their profile, especially the white people, you see somebody who puts his pet on as his profile picture. Now, make it make sense. If your pet, your puppy is your profile picture, do you want us to book your puppy? Like pay your puppy $25 per hour to do what? To bark. Woof, woof. That's so funny. Why would you put your dog as your profile picture? So that's one extreme. Now, today, Africans will not do that per se. Now, let's come to Africans. What do Africans do? Some of them put AI photos, just AI picture, profile picture. Is that bad? Well, if the AI picture is showing AI, like you can see an AI picture, this is clearly AI and everybody can see it's AI. Please don't use that. You need a picture of the clear background, and I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to waste time on that discussion. Your profile picture should show you as a professional. In fact, let me tell you this. Some of you don't understand this concept, but for platforms that even allow potential clients to come to have a personal number, that they can chat you up or anything, what I'll suggest is even your profile picture, your WhatsApp profile picture should not be swag. You shouldn't be doing swag on your profile picture. No, 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 no. That's why I'm intentional, even with my profile pictures. Even WhatsApp profile pictures, I'm intentional about this. I don't put anything there. And I think teachers don't even know that. Some of them are intentional about their maybe LinkedIn profile picture, but when it comes to their WhatsApp profile picture, it's swaggish. Like they say, but you know that potential clients come there to chat you up. I know you'll be thinking, does that affect how they see me? Of course it does. And I'm sure many of us here have not been so keen on looking our best as on our profile picture on WhatsApp. Am I correct? If you think this is correct, say yes, that's true. If you think it's not, say okay, it's not. I know many of us are not intentional about our profile picture, our WhatsApp profile picture. But when you go to Preply, you want to make it good. When you go to, you don't think that potential clients also come to you on WhatsApp, and then the first thing they say about you creates an impression. Okay, proper visibility. I got that. Okay, somebody else says something. Okay, now the other thing I would like to talk about is I call this the 10-second trust test. The 10-second trust test. Okay, now from what you put on your profile picture, from your profile, not the picture now, from the profile itself, a potential client can tell whether to trust you or not. And that's why instead of saying, I teach math, You need to be specific. What type of math do you teach? Okay. What type of math do you teach? Okay, you can say, I teach SAT math. That's good. That's being specific. I teach 11 plus math. Oh, that's being specific. I teach A level math. That's being specific. Potential client then see you as somebody they can trust because it tells them that this person is a specific teacher. He knows what it takes, and those are kind of clients you attract. So let me tell you this thing. I was thinking about it a few days ago. I discovered that as a Nigerian teacher, on one platform I work, and when I say the platform, it's not just a Nigerian platform per se, because I get potential clients from different countries. But one thing I observed is they don't usually send Nigerian clients my way. Most of the clients they send my way are UK, US, Canadian clients. And do you know why? Who can guess why? Why don't they send a student looking for a WAEC teacher or a student looking for a NECO GCE teacher? I'm not saying these things are not, of course, there are great exams that they need to pass, but why don't they send those students my way? Why don't they? There must be a reason, right? Who can tell me why? Or who can guess why they will not send such potential clients my way? NECO, WAEC, instead they will send clients that want to take IGCSE, clients that want to take 11 plus SAT, and all those international tests and exams. Why are those ones the ones they send my way and not the ones that want to take local examination? Somebody said no idea, but who can guess? Who can guess? Who can guess? Somebody's saying it's because of your high standard. Maybe you're an expert. Maybe your expertise. Yeah, it's funny. Ah, let me tell you, it's because of my profile. My profile only tells them, because my profile specifically said, I specifically said something like I teach UK, US, and I have a good understanding about their curriculum and everything. So when some of you don't know that even these platforms have their own algorithm, in quotes, okay? So when that their own algorithm sees somebody who needs a teacher like that, they'll just send them my way. And some of you are complaining, I want to earn $10 per hour, I want to earn $15 per hour. Excuse me, does a profile say that you're the kind of teacher that should earn that? Because if you say yes, your profile says no, then it's a no. It's a no. So that's the reason. That's the reason. The profile tells you already. And I talked about this on the book, and not just talk about it on the book, I also gave a template on how you can create a profile that sells, a profile that attracts foreign students. And that's what this book is about. So our time is fast spent. I intend this to be just a maybe something like 45-minute discussion, but then it didn't go as much as I would have loved it. Okay. Now I'm going to quickly share my screen and show you some important things about some of the things I've talked about since. Okay. So let's look at this. Let me know when you can see my screen. If you can see my screen in the chat box, just give a thumbs up. Just give a thumbs up. Okay, I'll be fast with this. So this talks about how to get multiple foreign online students. That's what you can see, right? How to get multiple foreign online students. Okay. So I've talked a lot about this already. I consider this book as the complete blueprint. Okay, for the tutors who are ready, not the ones who are not. For the ones who are ready to stop being a local champion, the ones who are ready to stop being the ones that somebody told me recently, the potential client, a Nigerian client, told her she told the person 6,000 naira per hour, and the person was upset. The person left. When she sent a message to me and said, Mr. Murphy, what should I have said? I said, I think you sold yourself too low. You should have told him 10,000 and above. Even 6,000 per hour, you cannot pay. That's not the kind of client. You don't want to be debating with such clients. You don't want to be debating with such clients. And let me even tell you, one of the challenges, we're going to have to end this meeting in about 15 minutes because it has already passed the time I want it to be. One of the challenges some potential or some teachers even face is the fact that when they have a client, for example, if I have a client that I teach, and of course I'll do my work well, that I charge, let's say I charge this client $12 per hour. There's something I do. There's something I do to make sure that the next client he or she recommends, because they will always recommend my service. The next client he or she recommends will pay me around 18 or even $20 per hour, far more than what he's paying. What do I do? Simple. At the beginning of our conversation, or when he or she accept my services, appreciate my services, there's one particular mail I send to this person, or I can say a WhatsApp message. It's a template. And what that message does is it tells them how they can recommend me. One thing Nigerian teachers don't know is you can teach your existing client how to recommend you. You can teach them. But if you don't know this, you get stuck. So you get stuck with maybe, oh, it's $10 per hour. That person will be paying $10 per hour. The next one will pay $10 per hour. In fact, they recommend one who will not say, that $10 is too much. Can you bring it down a bit? Can you bring it down a bit? Now, the question is, how many of you would like to get this template? How many of you would like to get this template? How many of you would like to get this template? Yes, this template will be available to those that it's part of the freebies. Yeah, it will be available to those who are here today and who will show interest. So this is what you do. This is what you do. I know that most of you here today have my WhatsApp number. Most of you here have my WhatsApp number. Some of you may not. So this is what I will do. Hello, please put my email address on the. So send an email to my email address now and say, just type, I'm in the meeting. Or let's say, as soon as this meeting is over, or you can do it now, just say, oh, I'm in the meeting today. I need the template. Okay. As soon as the meeting is over, that offer will not be for any other person again. As soon as the meeting is over, that is gone. Okay. And then let's quickly move on to the next thing. Please, you can do that. You can do that. So one thing that has helped me a lot is to grow above my jurisdiction. Like this is a Nigerian teacher thing. Is to grow above that. And it comes with the business mindset. You can be a great teacher, but not a good business person. And if you are not a good business person, then you won't enjoy the benefits of the online teaching that much. Okay, so you want to break borders. You want to break this restriction of is a Nigerian teacher. They can accept 12. They can accept 5,000 naira per hour, or they can accept 6,000 naira per hour. After all, they are Nigerian teachers. You need to break above that, and you don't break that if all you have are. And forgive me for saying this. All the people have are clients who are Africans in diaspora. You need more than that. If all your clients now are Africans in diaspora, I can guess what they pay you, and I'll be right. I can guess what they pay you. Now, I'm not saying I don't have some of them, but over time, I've learned to break that yoke of there must be Africans in diaspora. Most of my clients are completely white people, completely US citizens, completely UK citizens. And that gives me the leverage to charge some certain amount. Okay. Now, let's move on to the next one. Yes. Why are some teachers invisible? Why is it possible that some teachers cannot be seen? Why? And I think the number one thing is that skills are not enough. You have a good teaching skill, that's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. Okay? You need to become visible. And one of the ways to do so is to have a good profile. And I said the template of a good profile is on the book. I've spelled it out a lot and everything is there. You can always get it and get the best. And by the way, if you're asking how much is the book is about 30,000 naira, but then I have to bring it down to 10,000 naira for those so that many people will be able to afford it. And some teachers have already shown interest, and some teachers have already bought copies of the book. Okay, so you don't want to generalize everything. You want to be a specific teacher. You want to be a specific teacher. Okay, another thing is you don't want to compete on low price. You don't want to be a teacher where everybody there is trying to get the minimum. You say, if some people, I don't even get it. How can you be so pleased to start with? You started with $5 per hour. First, that is low. But you stay there for years. Why? You stay there for 7 months. Why? Why? Why would you stay there for 7 months, 8 months, and you are not even growing? You are not growing. Now, listen, this is what I do. I like to be practical. There are some clients that I may not be paying too well, or some platforms that may not be paying too well. So, what I consider most would be, let's say, how much do I get from this platform? I do that. So, I'm not asking you not to do so at all to become too strict. No, no, don't become too strict. Okay? But be smart. So, I do that. I check how much do I get from this platform. If it is worth it, I can say, okay. I can say, okay, let me take this for some time. Let me take this for 5 months. Okay, or let me take this for 3 months. I'll just put a timeline on it. That gives me the mindset of finding a way to break free from that and get other students, better students. And the truth is, there are always better students. There are always better students out there, and that's the truth. Now, the next thing, you don't want to have you don't want to be your whole thing, your profile and everything look like generic CVs. And by the way, do you know that a good CV is one good way to get potential clients? A good CV, because on platforms who ask you for CV, a well-revamped CV can save you a lot and can get you a lot too. Okay, and now you want to shift from the teacher who's just applying these platforms. I talked about these platforms and how you can get their jobs. In fact, I think I covered about I list some items that you have to look out for platforms that can drain you more than they pay you, and that's not what you want. And I know many of us have been in such platforms where the money that comes in is like this, but the stress that comes in is like this, and you don't want that. You don't want that, even if you are there. So please listen to me well. I'm not saying if you are there, leave them. No, be strategic. How long do you want to stay there? Start applying to other better platforms. Okay, don't just leave and say, Mr. Murphy said I should leave. No, I will not. I will not pay your bill. That's it. That's it. All right. Please, have any question? If you have a question, please go ahead and ask a question. If you have a question, please go ahead and ask a question. Who has a question, please? If you have any question, I'm here to take your question quickly. I think my email is already in the chat box. I think my email is already in the chat box. Please, while we ask questions, if you have a question, ask a question. If my email is not there yet, I'm going to put it again so that I can send an email. Okay, so I'm putting it there. Please ask a question about the book. And now this is it. If you get the copy of the book between now and the 3rd of May, you will get some freebies with that book. Okay, gmail.com. All right, so please check it. Can you see that? All right, so let me pin that. Pin this message. All right, so that's my Gmail. You can only send me a message and say, okay, I want a copy of that template. And like I said, it's for those who are here today. If you're not here today, then you will not get that. Okay. Do you have a question? What platform that signs contract? Okay.
Okay. What of platforms that signs contract.
Okay. Um, so what do you mean platform that sign contract? Almost all platforms sign contract. You need to sign. So I'll need you to be a bit more explicit. What do you mean by platform that sign contract? Okay, another question. You have another
Okay,
question.
someone else asked, how do I start?
Why did you write this book? What platforms can you? Okay, now on the book, I mentioned some fantastic platforms you can start and start getting jobs. I mentioned about six of them, six good platforms you can start getting jobs. Okay, but one of them, I'll just mention one of them now, is Teacher On. Teacher On is one of them. Okay. On Teacher On, you can get different foreign students, US, UK, but your profile must show that you are worth those students. So you can get a copy of the book where you get these platforms and apply to them. Before you even apply to these platforms, if you are not there yet, please get the book, read the book, and make sure your profile matches those platforms, and you are sure to start getting multiple clients. But that doesn't mean that you just start getting multiple clients immediately. That's not how it works. Okay, there's time and everything. There's time for incubation and for growth. Okay, but then I think it's different for different teachers. Some people can start today and start getting clients almost immediately. Some people can start and have to wait for a few more weeks before they start getting clients. And that's why you don't have to focus on one platform. Somebody say instead of focusing on different platforms, why not just stay on one? You cannot stay on one yet until you start getting multiple jobs. You can't just say I'm staying on one or two. How many jobs do you have? You earn less than $100. If you earn less than $1,000, that's less than 1 million Nigerian money, and you are saying you want to focus on one platform. How does that work? Okay, now these profiles are for teaching platforms, teaching companies like Teacher On. If you go to Teacher On, they will ask you put your profile. What's your profile? It's about yourself. And I have a template on the book. It's about yourself. There's a way you talk about yourself that make potential clients see you and they want your service. That's it. And somebody say, why did you write this book? Yes, I wrote this book to be a form of reach for those that I cannot physically reach, and get, especially African teachers, get them from being stuck to having more students than they can handle. And I'm not just talking about this. I have experienced it myself, and I'll tell you, it's sweet. It's sweet to be in charge and to say, these are the kind of clients I want to have. That's when I decide the kind of client to have. And that's when I can tell a client, I think we have to stop this business from here. And it's not about being proud. It's just about, I want to focus on what pays me more. And that's why I wrote the book, to help you succeed more as an online teacher. Do you have any other question? Okay. And don't forget this profile. Somebody asked, can I put on Facebook? Of course. As soon as the profile is good, you can use it to make a post. Now that's good. And you can also put it on, you can just get the main highlights from the profile. And don't forget, there's a difference between teacher title and teacher profile. They're not the same. Okay? Learning how to set this up and learning how to set both of them up will be the whole thing that brings you the success you want. And that's it. All right. I think one more question and then we'll leave. That slide from the beginning was just it. Right? Okay. Any other question? We don't have another question. Is there another question? Okay. Somebody said, can we be having this often? Do you mean I should be writing book often? I should start writing books often, right? How often should I reach out to a client? Okay, people are different, right? And I don't want to tell you what I do because I don't want you to start copying me. Why? Because I don't know how many clients you have. If you are trying to get clients, don't disturb them. But for me, I reach out once as a reminder. But if I reach out once and you don't reply, I let you go. Like, I will never send you any other message. It's over. Just go. It's a breakup. It's a breakup between us for a relationship that never started. But so for some teachers, they want to reach out once and there's no reply, they want to reach out again. Okay, maybe just a final reminder. I was wondering when we could start the class. It's okay. So I would say do what works for you, but don't overburden a client with different messages, acting as if you're begging. You shouldn't be begging. I'm in a place where I'm not begging. I am not begging. And let me tell you this thing. And somebody said this recently. They said the most powerful person in a discussion or in a decision table is the one who can walk away without a deal. The most powerful person in a decision table is the one who can walk away without a deal. Meaning, if they decide not to give him the job, it's fine. And that's the kind of person I am. I can walk away without a deal, and I've done so multiple times. I posted the number of teacher requests I got in January one time, and I got about 20 or over 20 of them. Guess what? I converted less than 10% of those. I don't want to convert every client. That's right. Number one, with the rate, if you cannot pay, you just go. Number two, with the attitude, if I see that you are giving a funny attitude from the beginning, I let you go. It has worked for me multiple times. Someone told me send your payment stuff. Okay, it was actually for my lesson plan. From there, I just told her, please, ma'am, I think this cannot work, and I let her go. So it happens for me, right? And why? Because it's not as if I'm being proud. It's because I just understand the game, and I'm not in that position where I'm shrinking and trying to convert every client. I'm not just in that position. So that is it. Okay. How many times? Okay, I think I've got that. Yes. The meeting. Well, this is just a meeting for today and for this book. This is the book launch. So if you want to get the book, can you put the link? Please put it there. If you want to get the book, I think one thing that has kept teachers bound is the fact that they don't want to grow. They like the idea of growth, but they don't want to put in what that growth would bring. They don't want to. They just want to have growth. They just want to grow. But things don't work that way. Okay? Knowledge is what makes you grow. And without knowledge, you stay stuck. Have you put it in that chat? And that's it. So I'm going to take maybe one more question before we say bye for today. I can't say it in the chat box. Is it?
Oh, there's a question.
Okay, what's the question?
Are clients supposed to pay before you start teaching?
Yeah, let me tell you, I just want to be Nigerian teachers. Sometimes teachers don't listen. Let me tell you, sometimes most of my, like 95% of my clients pay upfront payment. And when I say upfront payment, if you put the money together, I think you can buy land in some part of Nigeria. The upfront payment alone. Please, this is not to say I have money to throw away. Because it can be funny though. But this is just to say it is possible for you if you start building that. When I started this, some potential clients we're like, why are you saying we should pay you first before you start? But now, I think currently, I have only one client who decides she's paying at the end of the month. She said, that's what I can do. I said, okay, no problem. So I have to be flexible too. But trust me, about 95% of my clients pay before the start of the class. If you not pay me, why will I teach your child? I don't understand. What should I teach your child? Are you joking? Okay, so yeah, that's the question. I think I've answered it. You've not put this link in the chat box. I can't see it. Okay. Okay, somebody asked me a question, said, do you have a company? Okay, so let me say it this way. Currently, I partner with a company called Primus Path. So I'll put the name. So it's Primus Path Ltd. Yes, I partner with this company, but I will not say I own the company. But I partner with this company where we get to teach students across the globe, and it's also a study abroad agency. So if you ask me if I own a company, I would just say I am a company. So I'm a company. Thank you very much. All right. So, any other question? Excuse me, I cannot see this thing in the chat box. Please, can you see the link to the book in the chat box? Who can see the link to the book in the chat box? Who can see the link to the book in the chat box?
Someone said I can see it.
Okay.
Let me post it again. Okay, what I mean, that copy and paste it. Open up as a link.
Okay. So, do we have another question? Do we have another question? Okay. Get the book. Who has a question? I think I just answered the last question. Yeah. So, get the book here. Okay. So, now before we leave, I would like to ask you I have a question. What will you be doing differently after this meeting? What will you be doing differently after this meeting? Because we've said a lot, even within it. So, what will you be doing differently after this meeting?
I want to copy.
I'd like to partner. Okay. All right, but okay. You can send an email. You have my email address now, right? So you can send an email. We'll talk about how you would like to partner. Okay. So who else? Somebody else has a question? Oh yeah, please you can subscribe to my if you've been here for this time, please you can go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is where I post some other things I don't usually post on some other platforms. So go ahead and subscribe, and that'll be good. That'll be good. Somebody said upgrade, upgrade. I want to start building my profile. Um, Very important. Please start. I I have a template on how to create a good profile. Like I said, make sure you sell yourself for your skills. Don't just hide them. Some of you have more skills than you think you have because you've never thought about how those skills be something could bring something good for you. So I think it's time to think about those. Okay. Any other question? Any other question? Profile can be on. Okay. Thank you. I've sent. Okay, that's good. I will see this. I will see it. Okay. I will see it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's it for today. If there are no other questions, if you have any question or concern or anything you'd like to talk about, uh, maybe about the book or any other thing when it comes to online teaching. And by the way, I do one-on-one mentorship. This is where I get to hold your hand as an online teacher, show you how this thing works, how to earn, how to use video conferencing tools, and a lot of others to earn as an online teacher. And I will here to help. And that's for today. Please don't forget to send please send your request, right? Send it now because after about 20 minutes, it will no longer be free. So send it now so you can get it. I don't want anyone who wasn't here to get it. In fact, after about 5 minutes, it's no longer free. Just say, I'm interested. In 5 minutes, I think you will get it. So that's it for today. Please take care of yourselves. Bye. Love you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay.